Okay, here we got a Tecumseh powered Craftsman weed eater brush mower. Now, I just took some pictures of the carb linkages. It's just a great idea to do with your cell phone or whatever. Look at that. Okay, tell me you couldn't get that screwed up. Look at how they did this. They've got these kind of levers bent out this way, and this thing here, which is part of, I want to say, throttle. See? So I really do need to take it apart. I don't think there's anything wrong with the carburetor. She's really clean, but I think I would be doing a disservice if I didn't at least try. And I'm thinking we take off these two bolts and pull this out of the way, and then we can get at the rest of the carb bolts. There's not much to this. This obviously is going to need some work up here with the magneto. I didn't check the magneto yet, but considering how much rust is on it, you know, if we want to upgrade the spark a little bit, it may not even spark at all. So let's start off with those things first. And let me get that off and see what's underneath there. Okay, let me show you. I got it off. There's a little water in it for me pressure washing. You know. Yeah, so we're going to go get that out. Let's go inside. Now, I just wanted to show you. It's one of the tricks that I do. You can take it off of here, but I find you have more problems with the gasket here. If you take the muffler off, and for me so far almost every one has come off, you can get at this bolt real easy. So you don't have to struggle. I think it's just an easier way to go about doing it. And then you can get your tools in there, you can get your hand in there. I took the gas tank off, leave the hose on the carburetor. That seems to be the best way to do it. Alright, so let's go inside and see what we come up with. We'll pull the carb off. Let's go do that. Let's take a walk in here and we'll set up over here. Alright, tubers, let me just set up real quick. Good to go. Oh, look what I found. Oh. I must be missing that. Okay, we're just going to do a quickie on this one, I think. This one did run. He said it ran. Of course, they all say that. They always run. When you buy them new, they run. Let's put a little something to reduce the friction on this gasket. And the pressure washer did a really nice job of cleaning this carburetor, so we don't need to clean the outside. We're just going to clean the whole thing up. Oh, see, that's on there tight. Wow. Wow. Put a little more lube on that. That could be a problem. That means it could be damaged inside, so this might be another carb job. Another carburetor replacement. Or I should say more than a carb job. Wow. We have to put this in a vise or something. Yeah, that's bad news. That's a bad sign, guys. That's not a good sign. Let's see what happens if I put it over in this vise here. Try to get it in the vise somehow. No, I'm going to be in your way. Alright. Let's see what happens. There we go. Okay, let's. And that's what the lube is for, because I don't want to rip the gasket. Let's see. Okay, so far so good. That came out okay. All right, that looks pretty good. And it's got a brass bowl. Wow. I don't see a gasket. Wow. Okay, so somebody's been in here. Let's take a look, guys. I might have a gasket on one of the other old carbs, but somebody's been in here. Okay. There's no gasket here. There's no gasket in here. So somebody's been in here. So, you know, they always tell you, oh, you know, this or that. They always, you know, you always get a story. But there's no gasket. Alright, so let me go find my Tecumseh carburetors and see if we can liberate a gasket. There was a gasket. It probably leaked. Maybe somebody took it apart because it did this or that or whatever. And let me go rummage through and see. You remember I cleaned up a few just in case. And I don't know if Tecumseh is different or not. So we got to go rummage through and find some Tecumseh carbs and find them and see if I can get a gasket off of it. So it's a good thing I test everything. I don't know if it's missing something in here. It could be missing a jet. So that's what we're going to get the old carburetors for. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright guys, I found in my Tecumseh carb bag, I put a little oil on this, penetrating oil. I'm just going to use my trusty knife here. And there we go. We got a gasket. So we got to clean this up. Best way to clean up a gasket like that, you see this one's pretty gooled up, but it's good for parts. And you never know. You never know. So let's put this back in the bag. Got a spring on it. There's another one in there that I haven't cracked open. That one I'm glad I cracked open because it was clean enough for me to get in and do what I had it to do. Kerosene I've even used it on like weed whacker diaphragms because it will loosen it up again and will sort of rejuvenate. And if you let it sit for a while, and I'm just kind of rubbing it, I'm going to use a little Scotch-Brite here. And if you want, go take a break and let it sit in there for a little bit. Not long. We'll see what kind of condition it's in, and then we're going to put some lithium on it. Oh yeah, it's starting to work. It's working. You don't want to let it sit too long. I'm just using a little bit of this extra scrap Scotch-Brite, general purpose for. You can feel it pulling. So, tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to pour a little bit of this Caro in here, just so it covers. It's just some used Caro I have. Let's cover this up. And I'm going to go and clean the magneto and test all that and do the plug, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. Alright? And we'll see what our progress is. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want it to blow up. It'll take a while to do that. I mean, it'll just expand and expand. That's all there is to that. I'm just going to wipe this out. So for whatever reason, maybe it was leaking, maybe it was just stuck. And see this junk here? So we can take our a wire brush and a little Scotch-Brite. Just make a pass. So this way we get a better seal. The wire brush is good to start off with because it gets rid of squirrely things. And then we'll make a pass with the Scotch-Brite. Try to get your fingernail into that. I'll try to polish this right up. There you go. Wipe it out. Let's check the carb base too. Get that area nice and clean. No pity. In good shape. Doesn't mean it's going to run. Let's do a little bit over here. See? See that's getting that clean? Right away. It's coming right off from just the spray cleaner and everything, but just make sure that whatever that was going on with that gasket that I have now, you got fewer issues of having a problem. And what does it take? A couple of minutes to get that apart. Get it cleaned up. Now I want to do the jet. So here's the pin, which is a different type of steel. It's not, I don't think it's stainless, it's got some rust on it. So we're just going to spin it. Alright guys, we're back with the weed monger. And I had to go and get the footage out of the camera. So I put this back on and I lubed it with a little bit of white grease. So we're ready to go here. And I also drilled this out about 2/1000ths of an inch just to make sure it's clean. It was some goop inside, you know, typical spots, you know, what you usually see. So you know, we've let it sit in the Caro for a while, so we should be okay. So let's get our needle set, and it's a little caught up on the spring that holds it. So let's see if I can just slide that in there and get it to hang. I polished this up on some Scotch-Brite, cleaned it out. So try and drop that in there gently. And let's push the pin back in. Right, and let's check it. Now it should be sitting parallel, which it is. Okay, and then I like to just to make sure she's okay. So that's all lubed up. I lubed up this gasket, alright. I lubed up the threads a little bit. Okay, so now the bigger part of the bowl, a little more reservoir, that's obviously got to go where she hinges into, and this flatter part is where the hinge is. Alright, let's get that to settle down. And I add a little bit of white grease to the threads because it was a little stuck. See how it goes in? Right, it's not stuck now, so there's no issues there. So this we're all good to go. That's nice and tight. We'll move this down. I'll put a little bit of lubricant on that. She looks good. Alright. Alright, now I did the plug. I pulled the plug out. We're going to do a compression test in a little bit. I cleaned the plug. It was gapped a little wide. Could be just from use. And I took the ignition coil off, and this might be a problem. I cleaned it up. It was a little loose. Alright, there's no reason why you want your hands on everything. If you want to do this for money or just for yourself, because you found something cool on the side of the road, you're going to have to put your hands on everything because you don't know what the last person did or what age did to it. This is reading about 14 to 16 thousandths. It's about 16 to the body from the primary and about 14 to here. Now that's a lot, but I don't do tecumsehs a lot. So now let's try and slip it in. That's what she said. I don't know where it went now. I think the best way to do it is to put it on the carb first. I think it went here. I'm not sure which one it went on now. I thought I remembered, but apparently not. I think it went on the second one. I don't think if it goes on this back one here, it's going to work. We'll try the back one. So now we have to loop it around somehow. With the wheel in the way, it's a bit more problematic. Lube it a little bit. Cut us a little slack. See, if the wheel's in the way, we have to take the wheel off because it's really a pain. It just keeps hanging up on the wheel. Oh, I think I got it. Yep. I think we did it. Let's try to force its way in. This one first. Look like a little easier. That's it. That'll make life a little bit easier. Now somehow we got to get in there. Get this guy on. You need like 5 hands. There we go. Shouldn't take that long to do. Get them tight. Oh, that's beauty. Let's tighten this up. Do this one, we'll snug it. Beauty. That's beauty. You are nice and tight. Now we'll put screws on the top. I'm going to have to lubricate this. Good job there. Just throw this back this way. Keeper for this wire. Alright, put that down there. Put this back on, the muffler back on. Just using a little bit of that lube. Just so it's a little easier to put on. Try no cross thread. See how easy that is? That's tight. That's nice and tight. Now, we have this vent tube. Vent tube's back on. We'll put the fuel tank back. And blow it out just to make sure. I had cleaned everything, but just to make sure. We'll reinstall them, the magneto. Get the top, because that's where the magneto grounds. See? It's not bad. Uh-oh. There's a little oil coming out. That's making a mess. It's that dipstick. We're going to have to do something about that. Because there's no way I can do a spin with dipstick doing all that oil all over the place. I have to find a cap or something to stick in there. It's full. Yeah, we need some kind of a cap. Alright, I'm going to go find a cap because it's making a mess. Be right there. Alright, we're back. Carburetor's on, muffler's on. Let's do a little bit of work here. So we're going to do a test. I got a plug covering over the dipstick hole. Let's get my 10,000 feeler gauge. Now these don't suck in as well, so you're going to have to hold it. And let's just snug it up. Now, I think the coil is questionable. Let's tighten it. We're going to check the spark with a spark plug. But first we'll do, let's get this good and tight. And yeah, because I need to put an Amazon order in, so if I need a coil, I just want to put one order in because it takes a while to get here when you want to do free shipping. Alright. Let's back you up. And I want to put a little juice inside and spin it too. But we're going to try it dry first just to see where we are. One thing I didn't do is I didn't do the governor. So if we do have a problem, let's see what we get. Oh, we're doing great. You got a good 100 pounds there. You beauty. 100 pounds. So she's got life. You know, at the very least, this is a good motor. If it doesn't sell for what I want, I got a motor out of it. Let's put some juice in the top. I don't know, what do you think this thing's worth, guys? Where I live, there's not as much brush like down south or upstate New York. Spin that a little bit. So it's not quite as useful. Oh yeah, nice, huh? That's nice. Put a little more in. Let that set. Alright. Spin it backwards. Still wipe this thing down again. You know. We'll blow it a little bit. Just beautiful. Okay. Now we're going to let it blow and belch, but we're going to check for spark, and hopefully it doesn't light the fuel and everything. So let's spin it a few times. I want to get it on the camera. So then I have to clean it. That looks good. Bring it up here out of the way of the spray. Let's see. I see a little spark. Okay. It's not much, but it's there. Alright, let's give this a little prime. You know, let's blow that out a little bit more with the compressed air. And we'll put a little bit more juice in there to get everything nice and lubricated. In there from, you know, all of the pressure washing, because they do get water in these engines. That's why I tend to not pressure wash them until I'm ready to work on them. And if I do pressure wash as like a preliminary, I won't go anywhere near the areas that I think, you know, I'm going to get water in. I just go over it lightly and just hit the big dirt. Let's get the cover. Set that to 28 thousandths. We're good here. Let's get the cover. Let's put the cover on. And Cover needs a little bit of paint. Before we put the cover on, you know how dry that is? Let's get our... Less likely to break, and if it gets stuck halfway out, like my lawnmower needs this stuff. I just pressure washed it, but yeah, it's getting stuck. Okay, nice. Fits down nice. This needs to go over there. Okay. Put a little lube on these guys. I think we'll paint the top of this black or something. Let's see, I think the plastic covers most of it, so maybe we'll just give it a light coat. And we have the dipstick to put in. Got the gas tank to put in. And then we'll put gas in it. And we'll give it a fire. We'll set it afire. What size is that? 10mm? Probably. Just snug it up. Until the cover sets down. 2 different sizes, which is silly sometimes when you do that. I'll have to rinse it off when I'm done because there will be oil and peed. It's got a nice handle, like infinitely adjustable handle. That was must have been an expensive little add-on for them. You can see these things over here. Infinitely adjustable. We'll get all that working as well. We'll get everything lubed up after we get it running. We'll do all the mechanisms, make sure everything works. Put a little oil on this guy. Crank this down. Maybe that isn't 10mm. Feels like it. Yeah, it's going. Do it by hand so I don't strip. And I can tell how tight. And that has a lot to do with years of doing things. Dipstick next. So the dipstick has got its own O-ring or rubber seal. And put that on the dipstick first. Don't lose that. It's easy to lose. That's the cap I used. She'll be a leaker if you lose it. I think that's the too. Getting there. We'll know in a little bit if this thing's worthy. We'll get it nice and clean. If it runs good, with everything lubed. Dipstick's on. Nice and tight. Let's do Gazzy tank. That just snaps down. And so you can gauge the hook. Stop. Yeah, that's down. That's down. A little juice. That's in. Put the clamp on. Put the jet clamp it on. Jet clamp it's on. Let's put a little lubricant on the governor. We can make a bit of a mess right now. Alright, she's ready. Alright, this is for the filter assembly. She's ready. Let's Let's get it down. And let's see what it does. We're going to put some gas in here. Alright, I'm going to put some gas in, guys. I'm going to set you up in a minute. And we're going to do a test fire. Hey guys, it's a will it start? First start. Do you think it's going to start? I think it's going to start. I think it's going to. Hey guys, what do you think? Cleaned it up, put it back together again. It's all cleaned up. Let's give it another test fire. Got a little oil on the wheels, but that's okay. Alright, let's see. Let's give it another test fire. And let it run for a little bit, and then I'll take some pictures of it and get it for sale. Let's see. I think it looks real good. Let's press this a few times. Right, and this goes on all the way. This is part of the whole mechanism. Let's pull it back. Oh my. Almost. Now remember, I turned it on its side, so it had. I saw a little bit of leakage. Let's try it again. It's a run. Let's get some pictures of it and get it for sale. All right, we'll get to the next project. I'm happy. It runs good. It looks good. Runs good. It's been fully serviced. Next project. Don't forget, guys. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell. You need to get notifications and really subscribe. I really need all the help with this channel I can. And obviously people don't generally donate to stuff like this, but it's a real budding business, and I'm trying to get going with this channel. So it's Archer's Garage, and it's Uncle Archer's Projects, and I'll see you guys on the next one.